Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Everett and Chad's peril, and Clyde's interview? Spoilers and updates for Days of Our Lives hint that Everett Lynch and Chad DiMera are putting themselves in jeopardy when they interview Clyde Weston in Statesville. Even if Everett might not be aware of Clyde's threat, Chad is at fault because Clyde killed Abigail DiMera. Clyde Weston is not going to allow them to destroy his empire. More than anything else, Clyde can see that their investigative reporting is a setup. They are well aware of the continuous drug epidemic, but they have little interest in educating the public about it. Clyde is well aware that the purpose of the questions being asked is to deceive him into believing he is in charge. Chad informs him that Everett had to stop him from killing Clyde during a massive raid at a warehouse that morning, during which a body was discovered. When Clyde discovers what transpired and that what was happening at the warehouse is connected to him, chaos will undoubtedly ensue. This implies that both Chad and Everett will probably have people chasing them. E.J. DiMera is thrilled to meet the heroin dealer down. Even though Clyde is currently incarcerated and managing his drug empire behind bars, E.J. DiMera is keen to bring the drug lord down more irreversibly. He has a personal stake in it now that his stepdaughter is in a coma, but he also has a history with Clyde. E.J. was shot by Clyde's goon, and if Dr. Wilhelm Rolfe hadn't resurrected him under Stefano DiMera's, Joseph Mascalo, orders, he would have been out cold. Sending an assassin his way is the only method to take down someone who is already incarcerated. No one would put it past E.J. Guys, Clyde Weston has hit. Prison reform is unquestionably necessary, but how to really implement it is another matter entirely. Anyone who knows anything about Clyde at all knows that he has hit individuals both inside and outside of prison. That's a topic Everett and Chad should write about, the necessity of reforming prisons and ending warden and guard corruption. Even with Everett by his side, Chad was probably not the best guy to interview Clyde. Chad became agitated when he heard Clyde making fun of what had happened to Abigail. He was hoping he would agitate him enough to act in a way that would land him in hot water. Illusion Sloane loses her mind. According to spoilers for Days of Our Lives, Sloane Peterson is becoming increasingly consumed with motherhood, yet, she may lose her mind due to illusions and remorse. The audience found it unbearable to see Sloane Peterson criticize Nicole Walker for taking her baby because Sloane appeared to sincerely think that Jude was a baby she had legally adopted rather than retaining when he was left on her doorstep. Sloane is correct about one thing, but she has persisted in telling herself that this child is both hers and Eric Brady's. Though he does not belong to her, the baby is Eric's. This baby seems to irritate her more than anything else and to be getting in the way of her sex life, so she is unable to even become genuinely attached to him. Sloane's life is never boring anymore since she needs to play the part of a devoted mother to avoid Leo Stark's blackmail because he knows the truth about where she acquired the baby and who truly owns him. At a family meal, Deidre Hall's character Marlena Evans senses that something is wrong with Sloane, and not only because she drank foolishly in front of her and John Black. It appears that Marlena is going to recommend that Sloane see her for therapy, which can only end badly for Sloane because she is keeping a very big secret. Will anyone believe Sloane, or might these sessions be the final piece of the puzzle that Nicole needs to win back her baby? Because of her remorse, Sloane might end up in Bayview spouting the truth, but Marlena will only assume she's insane. Will anyone believe delusional Sloane if she admits the truth and she is in a mental health facility? Given that Nicole knew the child was hers from the beginning but was unable to provide proof, perhaps she will. DOL Ariane Zucker hosts a press conference and provides additional information about her lawsuit and firing. It looks like Days of Our Lives is currently depicting a real-life scenario. Ariane Zucker, the show's long-standing star, recently filed a lawsuit alleging unfair dismissal against Corday Productions, Ken Corday, the show's executive producer, and former executive producer Albert Alar. She and her lawyer, Anahita Setagatfar, gave more fascinating facts about her experience and the basis for her case at a news conference on February 8. With a prepared statement, Zucker gave an overview of her work history at DOL, describing herself as a committed and loyal employee who has been playing Nicole Walker since 1998. According to Zucker, she become a friend, confidant, mentor, and advocate for people who didn't feel like they had a voice throughout the years. She says that she also started acting as a sounding board for others who were close to her. Zucker continues in the prepared statement, stating that she had witnessed Albert Alar, the former executive producer of DOL, sexually harass, violate, and demean her female coworkers for a while. She says that Alar also harassed, violated, and denigrated her sexually. She claims to have witnessed several of her female coworkers quit the program in the spring of 2023. Zucker claims that she at last had the confidence to speak up about Alar and his actions. She attempted to discuss this with Ken Corday, but he refused to have a straight conversation with her. At the Corday Productions offices, she spoke with a male employee but was unsure whether to file a complaint. She continues, however, despite being aware of the risks involved in coming out. Zucker reports that the following day, an HR representative from Sony HR contacted her because Corday Productions lacked an HR division. Zucker asserts that despite the inconvenience of Alar's presence on set, he remained there after an official complaint was filed with Sony and an internal investigation was started. Actually, he wasn't let go until after the petition was started and the Deadline article appeared. Zucker notes that her agents were notified through email of a wage decrease subsequent to the investigation's inception. She also says that during the investigation, her character was taken off the show for a few weeks. However, in August 2023, her lawyer Seta Gatvar became involved and helped bring her role back. Zucker claims that after her return, she was given different treatment by a few crew members around Alar and Corday. Near the end of the press conference, Ariane became very upset and said she was pushed out of her work at DOL because she spoke up for herself and other people. She claims that even though she tried to speak verbally with her agents, attorneys, and Corday Productions to stay on the show since she needed a job, she was turned down for a job and was eventually let go from the show. Zucker claims she adds that those who had told her that she would lose her job were correct. A Salem Main Street burning. Despite being hinted to in their extended fall preview advertising film, we were forced to wait until winter to witness Chad DiMera and Julie Williams witness the Horton house catch fire. When Tom and Alice Horton received a call in their living room informing them that their granddaughter Julie had just been arrested for theft, the house was the first set we ever saw on Days of Our Lives in 1965. Now, Julie is the matriarch, residing in the former home of her grandparents with her spouse Doug, their cousin-in-law Chad, and Chad's offspring, Thomas and Charlotte. Fortunately, no one is harmed in this incident, and the Horton house occupants temporarily relocate to the Kyriakis mansion. Maggie Horton Kyriakis is glad to have some visitors, but will they detect something is wrong with Konstantin, her new friend, who sets the Horton house on fire? As Chad looks into the most recent lethal drug ring in Salem, he may end himself on Clyde Weston's, James Reed, hit list. Why not kill Chad the same way he killed Abigail DiMera, Marcy Miller, when he believed he was being discovered? Clyde is aware that Chad is spying on him. Now that he and his family are on the verge of a fire, will Chad report his suspicions about Clyde to the authorities? Is Harris Michaels able to assist? What about Everett Lynch, the man who initially drew Chad into this entire investigation and who lately seems to be his best friend? And how will all of these house guests affect the Kyriakis clan's living situation? Things can get congested even when Xander Koo and Sarah Horton are no longer residents.